Dear friends and family of Carmen, I'm so sorry that Jane and I can't be there for this memorial service to a wonderful woman. But I had a few words I wanted to share about some amazing times that we had with her. As many of you know, our mother, Volly, passed away in 1979, and shortly after that, our father, Galen, married Carmen, Volly's sister. He had a sense of knowing what he liked in a woman, and no doubt Art and Rebecca Jordal knew how to make daughters with deep character. And so we were blessed with a relationship with Carmen and my father for over 25 years. And no doubt a movie about Carmen, had someone made it, would have been an Academy Award winner, because Carmen captured, as many of the Jordal daughters did, that sense of character that Garrison Keillor speaks about with some of his stronger characters in Lake Wobegon. And any of you who watched the movie Nebraska, the wife of Bruce Stern, the main character, showed this pragmatic realism that is so authentic. And I have to say that I had such great privilege to witness this and to be in relationship with it, with Carmen, as she faced some earthquakes in life that we all hope we would have faith strong enough and deep enough to hold the equanimity that she carried with her through these difficult times. Specifically when my father's second hip surgery was not done intentionally, but he had brain damage after his second hip surgery, and had some very bizarre behavior because he lost inhibition of certain brain function, and these type of events are what unravel us and create fear, and Carmen was able to face that. So in the course of my father's unusual behavior, Carmen held an openness and a flexibility that comes from deep faith, from knowing there's a bigger mystery that's playing out. And I found it so helpful as we all tried to understand what was happening. Her patience was amazing. Shortly after that, my father was diagnosed with frontotemporal dementia, a deteriorating condition that we were told would last for 6 to 8 years before he would finally leave his body. Carmen, knowing this, took this on, and I know many of you saw how difficult this was for her as this condition progressed and the frontal temporal part of my father's brain deteriorated and behavior changed. And Carmen stayed with our father, and many of us know that she probably stayed an extra couple years under tremendous duress to care for our father. And for this, we are so grateful. She had such a sense of humor, even through some of the most difficult times. She always could find something to chuckle about. I know she didn't like the way I drove the car because I was a little fast, and she said, you know, I don't think I want to drive in this car with Randy anymore. I know when my father came up, he was very nervous coming into the Twin Cities area, and he would get disoriented. One time he came up to see us, and they ended up in Wisconsin somewhere, and Carmen thought this was very funny. And both my father and Carmen led lives of no complaint, and it was so refreshing to see this, even in difficult times when things are turning out far from what we thought they would, and they could handle it and deal with it and not become so reactive and unraveled as we often do. Carmen was there at significant moments of our life for the marriage of our sons. And I just have to say that we're forever grateful and indebted to her for the tremendous joy that she gave our father, who I know, after the trauma of Volly's death, he would not have made it without her. And thanks to Carmen, he had many, many years of joy and bliss as he moved into his golden years. And she truly did make them golden for him. Another episode, probably the deepest wounding any parent can experience, is a child's death before our own. And here, her faith was challenged more than any of us can imagine. And she faced this with a sense of equanimity, perhaps life's greatest challenge. And I'll always remember the deep strength she had at that memorial service for Gretchen and the gathering afterward in her house. She knew what she wanted, and I guess that's what life is just really knowing what you want and standing up to it. And then when things don't work out quite as we want, knowing how to handle that with grace, which is something all the Jordahl daughters seem to do very well. I just knew something was up yesterday, and I had to call Dorothy, and Dorothy said Carmen passed that morning. Dorothy said that her last phone call, Carmen said, "Oh, Dorothy, don't bother coming down here. I'll catch up with you in heaven." Just such a sense of just grace and peace. I saw this with Artis, saw this with my mom, and Carmen carried this. And I guess there's nothing better that a parent can offer their children than a noble death. Nothing better than showing our children that when the earthquake happens or when the world seems to be falling apart, we can face it with faith, peace, and equanimity, knowing that there's something much bigger that's happening here. So we're sorry we can't be there to tribute this wonderful woman who was such a big part in our lives. We want you to know that she will always be in our hearts. We feel her presence today. And we want to thank you for all that you've been in our lives as we moved through some difficult times together. God bless. peace, joy. Carmen, we love you.